and they're basically telling us to go jump off of a bridge. But here's some of the people that did share with us. So this person showed us they got started in Cryptex basically in 2020. So now they're showing us what they were, what their withdrawals were like as their contracts started closing out at the top of 2023. So January 10th, 2023, $98,800. These are all withdrawals out of Cryptex's wallet. On January 11th, so just one day later, they took out 89,487. 2 months later, on March 15th, when they had their next round of contracts they had purchased, they took out $100,000 2 months later. 3 days afterwards, another 100,000. 2 days afterwards, 112 grand, and then one day after that, 100,580. Add it all up, you're talking more money than most people making 5 to 10 years working their full-time job. And this is just because this is not a person who was a superstar builder or network marketer or influencer or anything. Just somebody who 3 years earlier made a decision that this made sense to them, and they paid some $100 processing fees, and now they've made enough money to basically set their family up for some real run. And they had more contracts than this. This is just the contracts they had close out early on in 2023. Now, another person that we found, a gentleman by the name of Mo. When the guy I'm working with, Gary, actually met Mo. Mo was about 2 weeks away from cashing out a couple of contracts that he had gotten 3 years earlier. So he agreed to actually film the entire process, to document it, so people could actually see all the different aspects of what this looked like. So the first thing he showed was his back office. And in his back office, you could see when he had gotten these contracts, it was back in 2020 as well. They were actually running a buy one, get one free for the 3-year contracts. The other thing that's interesting back then is the 3-year contracts, they had a bank at that point that was providing loans for $43,200 for the 3-year contracts as well. That is no longer the case today. So today we're just dealing with $30,000, $30,240 for the 3-year loans, but back then it was $43,200 for those as well. He had 2 of those. He got those contracts on November 20th of 2020, and then they terminated exactly on November 21st of 2023. So what happens is you can see all this detail for every contract that you get, including the exact termination date. On that exact date, the smart contract will signal an email to be sent to you, to the email that you have registered on that exact date, letting you know that your contract is terminated. So this is the email he got from Cryptex support, and it basically says, "Hey Mo, come get your dough." It shows him for a DeFi hybrid contract. He blacked out a lot of this stuff. He was kind of nervous about the fact that we were going to show this to the world. So he didn't, he kind of blacked out some of his personal contract information. That's fine. We can see the relevant data though. For DeFi hybrid contract, this is the contract address. It shows that it terminated 11/21/2023, and then this DeFi 36 contract was offered as a buy one. It's basically showing as buy one get one free. He got 2 contracts. After that 3 years, because those contracts again, that amount was larger, 43,200. He had 501 grand and change in the wallet. They had some in-user fees they used to pay the back end of the compensation plan. So 485 left over, and then they do a loan reversal is what they call it. Remember, the bank gets back all their money before we can touch anything. So the bank could actually put $86,400, which is 2 loans of 43,200 for the buy one get one free, into the staking pool. They got all their 86,400 back, and what's left over for him, 398,745.68. Okay, so 398,745.68. So then he shows us his back office, and you can see that what Cryptex does is, as soon as they're sending you that email, at the same time they're sending you that email, they're making a deposit into your back office for that exact amount. So they were basically telling them where his $398,000 deposit came from. That was the purpose of the email, and letting them know, hey, we've deposited this money for these contracts. Please make arrangements to withdraw the money off of the Cryptex system at your convenience. So then he simply goes and hits withdraw, and it goes through the withdrawal process. And what he ends up with, there's about a 4% withdrawal fee. What he ended up with was 10.597 Bitcoin. This is his wallet off the system. This is his actual cell phone, and he's showing his actual non-custodial wallet. And the amount he actually ended up getting was $388,653.68 of Bitcoin, which is 10.597 Bitcoin. That's the value back in November of 2023. As you guys probably all know, I'm sure you guys are all very up on today's price of Bitcoin, but today, here about a year and a half later, that would have been well over $1 million. So I don't know if he kept it or not kept it, or spent some of it and kept some of it, whatever, not my business. But the point is, I always like to make it clear to people to remember, we're not being paid in dollars and cents, we're being paid in Bitcoin, which is an appreciable asset. So again, being paid in Bitcoin is actually better than being paid in cash. You can turn into cash if you want to. The other side of that, though, was that he also, we knew that this was on the blockchain. So that was a big deal for us, because when you have a company that's paying on the blockchain and they send you your deposits, your withdrawals through the blockchain, one of the greatest things about that is you can go back and track back to the payment wallets, and you can see what they're actually doing. So a lot of people will talk about what they're doing. A lot of companies, you guys have probably all been involved in companies before. I know I have. We're going to be the next billion-dollar company, and we're going to be a billion-dollar company. And billion-dollar company means they're going to do $1 billion in sales. It's very few companies that pay out billion or billions of dollars in commissions. But we were able to track back to Cryptex payment wallets. We've probably found about 6 or 7 of them by now. But at the time, here's a couple that we were looking at back in May. Here's the first one. This is what's called a clearinghouse wallet, which means Cryptex only puts commissions in here so that they can be withdrawn, right? Whenever they have funds in their possession, those funds are actually active in staking pools or liquidity pools. That's how they derive their profit. But once you get to a point, you say, okay, Cryptex, give me my dough, then they're going to actually take it out of a staking pool, send it over to a clearinghouse wallet like this, and then you can withdraw that money right away. So here's one of their wallets we were able to track back to. As you guys can see, the wallet transacted 26,000 times, 26,530 times. But look at his number, 52,682,588,662. So again, I've not, I don't know how many companies I've seen out there that have done $52 billion in sales. Here's a company that's paid out of one wallet over $52 billion in commissions. That blew me away. That literally blew me away. Maybe you've seen wallets that big before. I've never seen wallets that big before in my life. And in fact, I'm looking at a Bitcoin wallet, so I know this is real. It's not faked. That was something that was big for me as well. This is what it actually looked like. I did this back on this screenshot back on May 13th of 2025, so you can see the actual date there. All the red arrows are withdrawals to people like you and me. The green arrows is basically Cryptex sending the money in. So somebody basically said, I want to do a withdrawal. They're sending the money in from different sources, and then people are able to withdraw it. So here you have them sending some money in, and then this is a red arrow going out to someone for $6,950,000, $6.9 million bucks. Here's another red arrow for $451,000 on the 13th as well. Another red arrow on May 13th, $4.996 million, and another red arrow. This was on May 12th, so the day before, for $5,038,000. So again, we're talking about smallest deposit. The smallest withdrawal here was 451 grand, which I've never gotten paid $451,000 in my life at once from anything. Network marketing, traditional business, anything. Maybe you guys have. I know we got some ballers on the line. I'm just saying I have not. I'm being transparent about that. I've definitely never gotten paid millions of dollars in one payment for anything in my entire life. So, but this is the type of withdrawals that people, other account holders from Cryptex are making. The other wallet that we actually was given to us that we were able to go look at and verify. This wallet had 516 billion. Again, $500 billion, right? $241,580,691 go through it as a Cryptex payment wallet. So, just an insane amount of Bitcoin that has been paid out over the 9 years. I think this is probably about a 9-year-old wallet, but over the 9 years that Cryptex has been operational, they've been paying out billions and billions and billions of dollars. For those of you that are skeptical like us, where it's like, yeah, but how do we know it's not just a $100 Ponzi scheme? Just simple math will tell you. They have a little over 800,000 members. We rounded up to 900,000. If you multiply that by the $100 processing fee, you come up with 90 million. And if you assume that every single person in the history of Cryptex, this is a stupid assumption, but let's just assume it anyway, every single one got a full 80 contracts. Everybody maxed out, that's still just 7.2. 90 million times 80 is $7.2 billion. I showed you two wallets. The smallest one had $52 billion paid out. How do you explain the $45 billion that's missing, right? The only explanation is that every one of these $100 bills is really being represented by a $30,000 loan, a $42,000, $43,000 loan, etc. And then it's actually compounding, and they actually are drawing in profits from staking and liquidity provision for large exchanges. I mean, that's the only way you can explain an extra $45 billion to be paid out. You can't have a Ponzi that pays out more money than what actually comes in. That breaks even Ponzi math. So that's what let us know that there was some real business going on here to generate extreme profits, and that they were a profitable business here. With regards to compensation plan.
Okay, that's the end of the presentation. He was just about to go into the business aspect of it, but as I had mentioned, that we're going to stop it. And if there's any question, we'll take a few questions in regards to, excuse me.
There are no hands up. Oh, here's one hand, Pastor Bernard Joseph. Go ahead with your question, please.
Yes, thanks for taking my question. I attended your Zoom last night for the first time. No, I have a few contracts in Cryptex, but this your link was placed yesterday in our group because I didn't know that you had a group. I joined a group that was posted. I was introduced to. I'm not sure if you're the same one who moderated the meeting last evening. The accent sounded a little different. But I did make requests as to whether this is a formidable presentation. Whether it would be made available. I think the lady said that you would have posted it in your group, but there's no way I would have access to it. I have promised to follow your Zooms as many times as I can, because I think your information is very informative and thorough. Is there any way I can get a copy of this recording, this presentation?
You're a member, so your upline can get it for you.
But the thing is that I don't think we are in this particular group.
Okay, so I just mentioned.
I am with the A team.
Well, the A team, they has it because she's been around a long time, and there's several people in the A team who comes here, and they do have it. Because as we post it, as you mentioned, you see it in their room, so yes, they do have it.
I saw the Zoom invitation, but I was talking to the.
Okay, so I'm saying to you, sir, you can ask the person who brought you to Cryptex because they've been around longer than you, and they're in the room. So if they scroll up, they'll see it, because as we post things, they take it and put it in their room as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And she knows other people who she can contact to get it from.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Good evening. Hello.
Kent has his hand up. Go ahead, Kent.
Yes, thank you for this presentation. I have a question. So I heard from my upline that I'm also sorry to come in this late. I don't know if you already talked about it, but I've heard that the 2 years, the 3 years, the 5 years, the 7 years may be going away, but we don't know when. Is that true?
You mentioned, you heard, we heard, but we don't know when. So you have the answer. We don't know when. And just like last year.
No. I just want to know if it's
no, but that's what I'm saying to you. We don't know. We don't know. Because as I was about to say to you, last year we were told in one of the video with Josh, and he says,
hold on, Pat, sorry. This guy is like, they're writing
Go ahead and take him out. Just take him out, Brenda. Remove him.
They may not
Don't put-
know, but please, guys, do not expand the screen. It's making all kinds of scratches on the screen. GF somebody. GFG, let's see. GF D off or anyway, guys, please stop expanding the screen. Thank you. If you do it again, we have to put you in the waiting room. Sorry.
Please, hello, good evening.
Ma'am, please wait your turn. One moment, okay? Wait your turn. I saw your hand was up. Just wait. 1 second.
Yes, like I was saying to you, sir. Josh had mentioned that the 2 years, it wasn't set in stone, but there was talking that it's going to come back. And this past July, we saw the 2 years came back. So say that to say this, we heard that the those you mentioned, the 2, the 3, the 5, 7, is going to be removed. So, as they would say in the Caribbean, you take smoke and watch fire. We
And
don't
so-
know for sure, but that was said. We heard that.
And so the best you can do is get your contracts now. Don't wait.
Right.
Wait. Get it now. Because you never know when that will happen. It could happen, we don't know when.
That's
Okay.
exactly what I was going to say, Brenda.
Oh.
So if you choose, okay, when the person share with me, he says if you have family and friends that you didn't bring in yet, get them going because there's word that it's going to be removed.
All right. Thank you so much for the answer.
And
So
guys,
get it clear. I didn't say it is. We heard. We heard. Okay, so please make it clear.
No. I asked my upline like, okay, so we know that Cryptex does not have administration. So where did the information coming from? So we heard, they heard, or they said, well, exactly where is it coming from?
Okay, well, we do have super leaders. So information do come down the pipeline from them, but we did not hear directly from them. Just like I mentioned to you, we did not hear last year. We played that video several times where the story behind the story. And in that video, he talked about the 2 years coming back. At that moment, since 2023, we did not have a 2 year. And in the video last year that came out June last year, he mentioned that there's word, not set in stone, but there's word that the 2 year is going to come back. And a year later, we have the 2 year with us right now.
so we had the
You,
clue.
you understand what I'm saying? There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
Please, good evening, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am. You were next. Go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed that this evening I can't log into my account. I've tried many browsers. It's not working from my end. I don't know.
The site you maintenance is going on. I don't know if the site is still back yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Whenever there's maintenance going on, it's nothing to worry about. Cryptex has, especially the older members, we're supposed to know that to tell the people that we're bringing on. There's nothing to worry about. They're moving to Cryptex 2.0, and sometimes they do have to take down the site to do updates. Okay, we're thankful that we can work on the site while they're doing the updates in the background, but there are certain times they do have to actually take it offline. But it's nothing to worry about. Just be patient.
Yeah, Brenda, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Sandra Bernard. Hello.
Hi, how you guys doing? I got the tail end of what you're saying about the contracts coming to an end. Can you just repeat what you said?
I didn't say anything like what you just said. We heard that those ones going to be end.
But we don't know when yet, right? Just that it's
Yes.
coming to an end.
That's what we heard. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Pat.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I tell my downline, everybody's goal, if you guys are looking for more than $500 a month, should be maxing out your contracts. Okay? Do it sooner than later. That's all we can tell you. Um, Kent, you have another question? Then we have to move on to the second part of the presentation. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Cryptex
Ken.
2.0, what's that about? So I just heard
Then,
Cryptex 2.0. What is that about?
as she mentioned that they're working on the website, and because we're going, they didn't pull the site down all together to do whatever they're doing to, to bring on the new website. So while they're working, we're still going in and doing business. But as she's just stated, that sometime based on what they're doing, they actually have to come offline because they're upgrading, bringing in a bigger server, bringing in more stuff, to the platform, information.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Desiree Lowe, go ahead, please. And if you have questions pertaining to the presentation, actually, so we can move on to the second part. Desiree?
I have a client who is interested in buying some contracts.
Again, I'm not going to do all the salesmanship. You guys are networkers.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, she showed me some screenshots, some information that she found about U.S. Treasury locking down Cryptex in somewhere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with some Russian individual. She's right here now. So,
Madam, what's your name again? What's your name again?
Catherine, I just want you guys to make it clear that it's not the Cryptex that took, but a different Cryptex or something.
Oh, that you're with Annette's team.
No.
Okay, you mentioned the Grenadines. Anyway, that's an exchange. That's a Cryptex exchange. We're not exchange. That article is hold. That article is back from 2023, 24, with all that stuff with an exchange. Because when that came out first, I sent it to Mario, and he wrote back to me and said, "Pat, read. We're not exchange." So thank you for that information, and thank you. You have the right information. We're to inform others that that is not us. That is an exchange, just like we have Binance Exchange, Gemini. That's an exchange. Stuff going on there with whatever that is with the Treasury. Have nothing to do with Cryptex deal. Thank you, Ms. Desiree.
Okay. Tamara, go ahead, please.
My quick question is two-part, I guess. I want to buy the coins through Cash App, the Bitcoin app. So I know you said it was $100 processing fee for each 100. Is this what I'm hearing? If I do 1,000, I need to have another 1,000 to cover the fees? Is what you're saying?
No, ma'am. Nobody
Okay.
said anything like that. If you
I
want
thought
to
it was
get,
100. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, it's $100 per contract, and if you want to get 1,000, you would send like 1,010, just so you have enough. When it get there, you can do what you intend to do.
Oh, okay. Well, you
But
answered my question. Yes, I'm listening. Is some more to it?
no. Since you mentioned Cash App, the fees to purchase the Bitcoin has nothing to do with the extra $10 she just mentioned about. So you're gonna need over and above $1,000, maybe $1,030, $40 to buy your Bitcoin, and then you want to send enough, a little bit over 1,000, like Miss Pat said, like 1,010, just in case Bitcoin fluctuate and it goes below 1,000. You don't want that to happen, so you put a little cushion in there. So when you're
Okay.
buying for 1,000, you want to buy for 1,010, $1,015, and whatever the fees are with Cash App, then that's additional.
Okay. Do y'all still have that thing where like if you buy 1,000 shares, you get what is it 5 or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, that's still there.
That's still there. So once I do that, that automatically generate.
Once you send the funds to your back office, then when you go and you choose the package you want, whether it's a 2 year, because the promo is on the 2 and the 3. So then as you log in, you choose what you want.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
All
not a
right.
tax
Thank
on
you.
share, it's a processing fee.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're very
Uh,
welcome, madam. Yes,
one,
Miss
All right.
Mary.
one more hand. Oh,
Okay, we can move on, please. Okay. So again, we're at the end of the presentation itself, where one do not choose to share the business is passive. Now we're going to open up the part, if you do choose to share, how it benefits you even before your contracts get maturity.
so that's
Thanks.
the, okay. He put it
comp
in.
plans work, but they've got 3 different pieces to it. They've got the front end, which is their 10 level deep unilevel, that is based off of the $100 processing fee. So it's 30% level 1, 5% level 2, et cetera, down through 10 levels. Because it's a $100 processing fee, it's easy. It's $30, $5, $5, again down through $3. We always do the example for brand new people who don't think they can refer a lot or recruit a lot. What if everybody just got 3 people? Most people believe they can find 3 people. And then we, even though on our team, we have this kind of go for 80 mentality, whether it's your first day, your first month, or your first year, go out and get 80 contracts so you can set up your family for financial, just financial retirement. But even if everybody only got 10, this is the kind of numbers that you would make in commissions, which as you can see, hundreds, then thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and a couple $1 million on the front end. And again, this is if you only got 3. I don't think probably anybody who's been invited to this call would only get 3. I made the joke with Mr. Jarman. That's like a bad Wednesday night, to recruit 3 people. I think we're probably dealing with much more substantial leadership than that. But again, even for the average person, if they just did 3 and made a couple $1 million through 10 levels, I'm sure they would be happy. This right here, and I'm going to show you some other math to show you some real world situation of what's been able to happen for me. This is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen, which is they don't just pay you on the front end. They will also pay you on the back end as the contracts begin to terminate and execute. So we did a 3 getting free model on the previous slide, and by the time you got down to your 5th level, you would have, with just 3 getting 3, 243 referrals. If everybody got 10 contracts, 2,400 contracts, you made 4% on the front end, but that's 4% of $100. So that's $4 each, so $9,720 in commissions. But what they're also going to do is on the back end, which means when the contracts terminate, they're going to give you commissions through 20 levels. 20 levels of referrals throughout your entire team based off of the terminated value of the contract. What does that mean? It means level 5, you're also going to earn 4%. But now it's not 4% of $100. It's 4%. If we were doing 3-year contracts and they're paying out 35 grand each, it's 4% of 35,000. So you'll make $1,400 on the back end for each one of these contracts. You made $4 on the front end, but you'll make $1,400 on the back end for each and every contract. So in this case, that's about $3.4 million. Now, if you think back to the, you look at the blockchain, you're seeing billions of dollars going out, but you remember just the specific days that we showed you, May 12th, May 13th, and you're seeing $6 million go out, $5 million go out, $4.9 million go out. All of a sudden, it kind of makes sense a little bit. It's not just about somebody's individual contracts closing out. In all likelihood, that's team builders. That's people who went out and built up these teams, got aggressive, like we're getting, like we've been aggressive. They built up these big teams, and now they're having these huge payouts as their team contracts start to terminate on the other end. And remember, this number is just based off of 3-year contracts. A 5-year contract is 471 grand. A 7-year contract is 1.5 million. So you start thinking about, earning percentages of that. And again, this is just 4%. Anybody frontline to, you earn 8%. So you can start to kind of play with that math and think about where that's going. Final part of the compensation plan I'll share really quickly is just the leadership bonus for people like the people that are on this call that, either you're a superstar networker, or you have a lot of sphere of influence. You are maybe a social media personality. A lot of people will follow you based off of your recommendations. If you can go out and refer 100 people directly, remember, that's not 100 necessary team builders or networkers or recruiters. It could be, 80 people who just want to get a membership or memberships for them and their family, who are just essentially customers, and maybe just 20 people who want to build a team, right? But if you can get 100 people that get one membership each, that is the qualification there. And then the second part of the qualification is have 1,000 contracts within your entire team. So it took me 29 days to get 1,000 contracts on my team, to give you guys an example. And keep in mind, during that 29 days, the stuff you're looking at right now, the presentation, all this, I had to build all of this. This did not exist. So I had to build presentations, build training platforms, work on a guy with funnel systems. And in between all that, still got 1,000 people on my team in 29 days. I say all that to say that I have no doubt that the people, I know Mr. Drummond can, I saw some of the other names, and I have no doubt that every single one of you could probably double my number in 29 days if you wanted to, right? Because we already got all this infrastructure now. You can just plug people in. You don't have to worry about creating this stuff. But when you do that, when you get 100 frontline and 1,000 contracts on your team throughout your entire team, you will be considered leadership bonus qualified. They're going to give you a $5,000 bonus right away, $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. So that's pretty sweet. But then every month after that, they will look at your team and they will zero in on your first 2 levels. And if on those first 2 levels, you have 100 contracts coming on your first 2 levels. Now, I want to specify here. It's not 100 people. It could be the same amount of people, but just 100 contracts. So you could have the same 100 people who a month ago got 1 contract, and this month they each get another 1 or 2 contracts. So that's 100 or more contracts. They will actually give you a $5 bonus that will go through infinity. So not just your first 10 levels. Now you pierce those 10 levels. You can go down to 100 levels deep, 500 levels deep. It doesn't matter where contracts come in. You're going to make at least $5 off of those contracts for the entire month. And they're going to do that every single month. As an example, if you were building that 3x3 model, and by the time you got to your 7th level, you had already hit that leadership bonus, then you would have made $3 off of each one of these contracts, 3% if you will, for $65,000, right? But you get an additional $5 because of this leader bonus, so you get another 109 grand on top of that. And again, that's just on the 7th level. Remember, this is an infinity bonus, so imagine what the 10th, 15th, 20th, 50th level look like. For those of you who are wondering what happens if I don't get 100 contracts on my first 2 levels that month, if you get 50 to 99, right? So you don't get the 100, but you get somewhere between 50 and 99. They'll give you a $2 bonus to infinity. And if you only get 20 to 49, they'll give you a $1 bonus to infinity. So it's pretty much impossible if you got 100 front line to not get 20 new contracts in a month, right? And if you get anywhere in the 90s, nobody's going to miss a $5 infinity bonus because they're at 97. You will figure out a way to make sure you get those other free contracts, and that's what people do every single month. Final thing I'll show you, and then I'll stop sharing this, and I'll show you something else real briefly, is we wanted to know what this looked like in the real world, like no more theoretical examples, just what this looked like in the real world. So we had a gentleman, he had been in a company in Cryptex for 3 years and 3 months at the time that he let us take this snapshot of his back office. And here's what he showed us. He showed us that he had $7.6 million in what they call profits locked. So let me just explain locked profits for a moment, right? You get a loan into the staking pool, and then Cryptex starts accruing profits every single day. Now, you can't just take those out, because if you took them out every day, it would never, ever accrue enough value, right? You wouldn't have the compounding effect happening. It would never build up big enough to be able to pay the bank back and the insurance companies and give the bank their annual interest, etc. So you can't touch that until those profits, until it actually terminates at 2, 3, 5, or 7 years. So this profits locked, profits from staking is off of his own contracts. So at this point, he had 80 contracts. So far in his 3 years and 3 months, $4.7 million and counting. I say and counting because some of his contracts were 3 years, some of them were 5 years, some of them are 7 years. So this will continue to grow for 7 years. You know, when a contract actually does terminate, whatever amount is paid for that contract will move from here over to here. I'll show you that in a second. But while it's over here, it's going to grow every single day. Rewards referral staking are the profits he is earning on the back for the back end. So they're doing a real-time calculation for you, so you can see it every day, and you can see what type of profits you're going to be earning as your team contracts start to close out. But for him, he was up to about $2.8 million for his rewards referral staking for his team. And that was going to continue to grow again. He's got people at 3 year, 5 year, and 7 years on his team. So this numbers could get back. I mean, this number could easily go to 15, 20, $25 million going from 3 years to 7 years very, very easily. However, what I was most interested in is the unlocked profits. Unlocked means you can withdraw instantly and put into your pocket. So over that 3 years and 3 months, he put $2.1 million into his pocket, with this plus maybe another 10 million still coming. That's an incredible run for 3 years of your life. It's an incredible run for 3 years of your life. So here's the deal, how it broke down for him. The rewards referral program was 584 grants. That's the 10 levels deep. So the 10 level, unilevel, 30% first level, all the way down to 3% on the 10th level. He made 584 grand, almost 585. But somewhere along his journey, he hit the leader program. He made over 900 grand there. Add that up, he made about $1.5 million between the regular rewards and then also the leader program. Remember, every single one of those dollars, it was paid instantly, and instantly he was able to withdraw that if he wanted it. So 1.5 million there. Then he had rewards referral staking. So what this means is that after the 3 years, some of his team contracts started to close out. So this is what he had earned so far on the back end of his team contracts, 289 grand that he had put into his pocket. And then he also had 4 of his own contracts also come to maturity within his 3 year, 3 month period. And he got $316,000 for those contracts. So all in, 2.1 million in his pocket after 3 years, 3 months, which about $700,000 a year. That's not bad, right? That's good money if you can get it. But also, again, 7.6 million and counting. And this number is going to go to 20, 25 million, no question. If he doesn't do anything else, this number would still go to 20, 25 million as these 5 year contracts, 7 year contracts continue to grow for the next 2 to 4 years beyond this 3 year point. So that is the basics. Now, I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second on that, and then I'm going to just show you guys one final thing, and I'm going to shut up and let you ask questions. And this is just the one thing that I showed Mr. Jarman. Mr. Jarman, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good stuff, man. So let's see if I can get that to go into a slideshow mode. Okay, cool. So again, this is just a reminder of what you just saw. We don't have to do this again. You see what see what the amounts are: 22, 35, 471, 1.5. But what I wanted to show you was just a real test case. So the very first person that I told about Cryptex, woman I know, her name is Karen. She does day trading with crypto, and I was still reviewing crypto. I was looking at it. The way that it was presented to me is not the way that I presented it to you. The way it was presented to me was actually really bad, to be honest with you. But I told the person to send me everything they had, and I started looking through all this stuff, and I started finding out how the compensation plan worked and everything, because they kind of presented it to me. It was like, hey man, just throw $100 in, and in 3 years you'll be real happy. Which I was like, yeah, but what does that do for me right now? How do I make money now? They didn't tell me anything about this compensation plan or anything. So they sent me a bunch of stuff. In there, I found a PDF. I started studying the PDF. I started figuring out the comp plan. I started getting excited. So I sent it to Karen, and I said, Karen, do me a favor, evaluate this for me and tell me what you see. I'm not going to try to influence you. I just want to know what you see. She called me in an hour, and she said, and I said, what do you see? She said, I see that I want 80 contracts. I said, no, that's great, but I promise you I wasn't trying to trick you and do some sneaky recruit move. I haven't even signed up for Cryptex yet. I want to know what you see. She said, here's what I see. You need to get off the phone with me, sign up, send me your link, and let me get my 80 contracts, because my 3 year clock is already ticking. And hung up on me, because she's a very type A person. But I'm not stupid. I took the hint. I went, I signed up for Cryptex. I sent her my link, and within about 15 minutes, she had purchased 80 contracts, and she got this exact mix of contracts. I'm going to tell you why in a second. But she got 50 of the 3-year contracts, right? And again, she bought 3 of these packs where, you know, there were no 2-year contracts at this time. So she bought 3 of these 36-month packs where she spent $3,000 to get, and she got these bonus contracts. She got 45 contracts there, bought 5 individual 3-year contracts, so 50 total, 10 5-year and 20 7-year. And again, I'm going to remind you again with these payout, I've included the 2 years in here now. They did not exist when Karen got started, but I just want you guys to see, like, this is what it pays out. $22,000 for a 2-year, $330,000 if you get one of these packs. So you spend $1,000, 2 years from now you get $330,000, $35,000 for the 3 years, $525,000 for the 3-year pack. So you can spend $1,000, get $525,000 in 3 years, and then $471,000 for the 5-year, $1.5 million for the 7 years, right? So she only had to pick from these options. So I showed you how she did it. So this was her thinking. It cost her $6,500 to get these 80 contracts, and she said, "Here's why I did it." She said, "Brian, 3-year contracts are going to pay me out $35,000 each. 35 times 50 is $1.75 million. So in 3 years, I'm going to get $1.75 million. So I can live very well. My husband and I can live very well on $1.75 million for 2 years. 2 years later, we'll get $4.7 million." She said, now that's we're already living great, you know, but now 4.71 million 2 years later, now we can just have complete and total and utter retirement, and, you know, not, invest our money and not have to worry about money. And 2 years after that, when these 27-year contracts cash out, we'll get $30 million. So I will probably never touch one penny of that. That's going to be for my kids and grandkids. That's my generational wealth gift that I'm going to give to them. So they're going to remember grandmom and grandpop, basically, and we're done. And that was her plan. 1.75 million in 3 years, 4.7 million in 5 years, 30 million in 7 years. So that's why she did this. The reason why I'm showing you guys this is because you're like us, you're like myself, you're like Mr. Jarman, you are builders. I want to show you the other side of this. So I want to keep in mind again, though, this is one person who I told about Cryptex. Oddly enough, the very first person I told about Cryptex. And she's now set herself up to get about $36 million in 7 years. And this is if she never recruits a soul, never talks to anyone. This is what she's got set up for herself now over the next 7 years. So keep that in mind. When you start thinking about being able to earn this kind of money in anything you've ever done, it's normally you got to go build a big giant team, right? So this is if she never talked to someone. She has talked to a lot of people because she is a builder, but this is if she had never talked to anyone. Now, you remember the comp plan and how it works. So let me just show you what this meant for me. This is the kind of part that I broke down because I want you guys to think about this. So $6,500 is what she spent. I earned 30%. That's $1,950. So 15 minutes into my Cryptex endeavor, I made $1,950 in 15 minutes, and it was instantly in my back office, and I was able to then go withdraw that. So that was pretty cool. Actually, I didn't withdraw it all because I did buy some more contracts with some of it, but I withdrew the rest. But again, just to show you how fast that worked, right? $1,950 within 15 minutes. But here's the part that kind of got me. I earn, because she's frontline to me, 8% off all of her contracts when they terminate. So when these contracts, these 53-year contracts terminate, she makes 1.75 million. I get 8%. That's 140 grand. In 2 years, when she gets her 4.7 million, I get 8%. That's 376 grand. And in 2 more years after that, when she gets her 30 million, I get 8%. That's 2.4 million. You add that all up, and it's about $2.9 million from one person who, in all transparency, I wasn't even trying to recruit. I was literally just trying to get her opinion to make sure I wasn't crazy and I saw what I thought I was seeing. She saw it. She was like, "You better get in right now." I followed, I got in, and she got 80 contracts, $2.9 million from that one person. Now, since then, as you might imagine, I've gone out and referred a lot more people, built a really big team, and going to continue to build a big team. The goal is to get a little over 50,000 contracts or more by the end of the year. But where have you seen any opportunity where you can do this, where you can set yourself up like this off of potentially just one referral? And if you're being honest with yourself, and I ask people this, $2.9 million, right? Over 7 years, which means about $400,000 a year every year is what that would be. That would be 2.8 million if you did 400,000 a year every year over 7 years. How many 7-year runs have you had in your life where you did not average $400,000 a year? For most people, the answer is every 7-year run. Most people have not had that kind of average in their career. And again, I'm going to say this again. That's for one person. She is not the only person that I've referred who got 80 contracts. So those numbers are actually not, but this is what it is for just one person. I just want you guys to understand that. So with that said, Mr. Jarman, I am going to stop talking. And hopefully people have got some questions. That's enough information for us to.
Okay. That's, as he said, open for questions. So if there's any question pertaining to the referral part of it, please raise your hand so we can answer your question. It's a little after 4 already, so we'll take a few questions if there's any, please. Okay. So, right.
GFD ORFF, I don't know what that is, but Hannah, introduce yourself, please, and ask your question.
Yes. Hello.
Hi,
You
good
guys hear me?
afternoon. Yes, yes.
Hi. Finally, good afternoon. I'm so sorry. First of all, I'm apologizing. Reason why I'm new to this thing, I didn't know because I wanted to ask a question. So I'm figuring this thing out. Where do I need to do that? So per accidentally, I scratched off the screen. Wasn't intentional. Yes. I got invited by a friend of mine. His name is Sweet, and I think he told me about this in the past. I never paid that really attention on it. I was a little bit skeptic, but um, yeah, life becomes harder every day, every year. I mean, like, it ain't getting easy. So, which is dragging you to like yeah, you're gonna need to start to look like for a real solution to fix your life up. So I said, like, let me give this a chance. Let me try this. I like it, the way how things working in this thing. You just put $100 bill included with a fee, and it makes money for you. And if I'm not mistaken, I can buy many contracts as much I want. I wanted to start right away, but when I went on the site, I saw like, wow, the site is blank. I'm like, oh God. So because I'm at work here, yeah, I'm multitasking
Not,
now, listening to you guys and busy working.
not
I
to
didn't
worry.
get that part when you guys were talking about what is the reason why the site is not open right now.
Well, Mr. Sweet is an awesome acquaintance,
Yeah.
and you're in good hands. And he'll let you know as well that they're upgrading they're building a new platform. So we have to. So right now, as Miss Brenda mentioned earlier, while they're working, we're going in. But certain things, what they're doing, they have to come offline. So for some reason, they're offline today from this morning, and I'm not sure if they're back yet. But Mr. Sweet can inform you because he does very well with Cryptex. He knows
Yes.
Cryptex and the whole work. So right now, if the site is down, it's just down because they have to come offline.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I heard about it. It was down, but I was like, wow, this is taking so long.
No, it's not
Will
taking
it?
too long. No, there. Listen, I'm not an IT person, but talking to other IT person, the first time when I experienced this, I said, "Oh my God, oh Jesus, the site is down. Oh Jesus, they gone."
No,
And
but
when I just
actually on the
this is
other
back in
side.
20, this is back in 23, until I was told, "Stop it."
Yeah.
Don't you see? Don't you? And when you're able to sign up and get in, you'll see the banner telling you that they're working on the website. So we know it don't bother us. So we just
Okay.
make it calm.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but they say like in life you need to take. Look. I am not in the game or like knowing about this thing now. In the past, I used to already deal into cryptocurrency. It started in 2017. I went into mining. I also want to learn to how to trade, but yeah, that is something else. But actually complicated. But
All
they
right.
say like these things. Okay, luckily it is low risk. But I'm someone. They say like if you don't take risk in life, you will never get where you want.
That
So
is true.
$100, I mean like $115 is nothing for me to. I just say it if to afford it to if it doesn't work out, it's no problem because it always can get better. So I have a positive mindset. Yes, and
Thank
then
you.
I can't wait for the thing to open so I can invest my 115 and that's it.
So you can get your contract, and Mr. Sweet will guide you exactly what to do and how to go about it. Thank you again for your question, sir. Thanks,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
welcome in advance.
Yes. Are you Mrs. Pat? Do I see the name Pat there?
Yes, yes,
Ah,
yes, sir.
okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I wanted to say.
You.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bye bye. Okay.
Okay.
There's no other answer.
Yes,
One, oh, there is? Oh, sorry.
Kent again. Go ahead, please.
Hi again. I
Hi.
just want to say thank you again, and then may God bless you for everything you guys are doing. You're planting a lot of seeds, and I appreciate that. Um, Along with the referral program, I was going to know if there are any restrictions in terms of sharing your link to friends and families. Any restrictions?
There is not restriction, but there are guidelines that you have to know and share with the person. You can't just, with Cryptex, you can't just mail, you can't just text or email your link to someone like other programs that we have been in. Or a friend will just send us the link and we sign up and we go. No, no, no. With Cryptex, they have to inform you. There are certain things that you have to do. You have to sign out. You cannot click the X. Other than that, the page is still open. So the person who brought you will sit with you and go over stuff with you and show you the guidelines, how Cryptex is done. You cannot bring all your family frontline to you. So the person will go over with you and guide you. So in case you choose to share, you do the same thing with your prospects, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And thank you. And the whole idea we take the time out is to because someone take the time out and share with us, and we're very fortunate because we could have been in Cryptex and have maturity from last year, from 2021 we could have been in Cryptex. Somebody that we know, Brenda knows, I know, and dealt with, and someone informed him about Cryptex in August of 21, and until this day he didn't say a word to us. But anyway, we're here, and to God be the glory. We're going to benefit just like him and others. So that's why we take the time to share with others. Not with pressuring anybody, we just want them to be aware because once you understand Cryptex, oh my Lord, once you understand Cryptex and you just go by the simple guidelines, you have no problem. You sit down and you structure your financial freedoms, you and your family. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Da 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 da. How much contracts you need? Listen, guys. We. When I said we, I mean us, Caribbean or Black African American, us. We tend to, oh, it's a scam. A lot of us, we're talking to some of our peers. We call to tell them, and when you hear the negative, you just you don't even say a word to them. You just change the subject, and they don't know what you had called them to share something that could help them, but because of the mindset and what they're accustomed to, and everything is not the same. Every in life there are different stuff. I always mention that book from time to time. I open my briefcase and read it. Open your eyes to a world most don't know exist. And that's what we found in Cryptex. That's what we saw with Cryptex, where so many of our colleagues last week, 2 days ago, today's Wednesday, on Sunday, another peer, somebody I met recently, they had a maturity. On the 18th, there's some other maturity. Some of our senior leaders, this month, their maturity coming in. And they already withdraw over millions from Cryptex and didn't have one maturity yet. So guys, this is not a joke. We're here chit-chatting and so on, but if you see this in the power word, what it is, oh my Lord, you just, some nights you can't sleep, oh, you're thanking God. Anyway, with that said, tonight we do have a crypto Creole call for our French speaking partners. So at 8 o'clock, and we'll post the link for that call. And I want to say thank you again to our friends overseas, which is nighttime for them, and for us it's afternoon. And Miss Brenda, thank you, my friend. And if you have something to say, and Miss Juliet, who else is here again with us? Mr. Michael and the others, we would just say a quick word and then we close out, please, because it's after 4.
And we had this one guy, one hand up. I don't know if we can take his question quickly. Butchie Bob? Is that your name? Butchie Bob? Go ahead, please.
Okay, he's not there.
What
Go
I
ahead,
want to
Brenda.
say too is, like you said, if people really, really understood what Cryptex was about and what they have in their hands here, they would not look at it like, okay, well, it's $100. I'm willing to put up $100. Guys, if you're really, really honest, you would. I'm telling you, when I came in back in 2023, if I understood Cryptex like I understood Cryptex now, I would set up myself. You see, like the examples that he gave in the videos, how many 3 years, how many 5 years, and how they fall behind each other. I would have really set up myself properly. So now you guys have it at your fingertips, and you're saying, well, it's $100. I'll put in $100. Yes, $100 probably will change your life for if you put in a 7-year contract where you get paid $1.5 million. But if you really understood it, and remember, a good thing doesn't last forever. Okay, opportunity strikes fast, and if you're not prepared to receive it, it's going to pass you by. And so there are some people who say, okay, I'll wait until you get paid and I'll do it. Okay, when I get paid at that time, now they're ready to do it, they're gonna have to wait 10 years, right? Opposed to only waiting 2 years, 3 years, or 5 or 7 years. So guys, don't look at it like, yeah, it's $100. I can put in $100. That opportunity just might pass you by. So really think about it. And we waste $500 on a pair of shoes, right? I would stay with no shoes and put it in Cryptex. $500. Okay, so I'm just saying, Cryptex has done a lot for me, a lot. When I turn around and look backwards from where I came from and where I am today, if I did not have Cryptex in my life today, I don't know where I was gonna be. I'm telling you guys, I don't know, because Cryptex is paying all of my bills right now. Just like you guys saw in the referral program, you can actually make millions of dollars before you even get your contract, matured. Okay, and I know that. because I've made more than what a contract would pay me, whether it's in 3 years or in 3 years. I've already made that, and I'm still waiting for my contract to mature. So I'm saying that from experience. So do not sit on the fence. Do not wait any longer. We're not begging anybody, but we're just telling you guys, we need that brick, and God has sent us that lifeline. We need to grab it. That's all I have to say. Pat, two more hands come up, so I don't know.
No, we're gonna close off. It's to make it quick, please, real quick, please. Who is it, Brenda? Make it.
Anna McDonald.
Go ahead, please.
Hi,
Real
good
quick,
afternoon.
please. Hi,
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just noticing, is the URL for the website of Cryptex, is it changed from cryptex.to? Because I have tried to log in and I'm not getting in, so I'm just wondering if some changes were made anywhere. Thanks.
Did you just come on?
Actually, yes, I just joined the meeting. I just recognized that there was a meeting. Sorry.
Okay, but in the room it's posted that maintenance. There's a maintenance going on right now, ma'am. So you just have to wait. We can't do anything until they start that. Okay.
Not a problem. Just wanted
You're
to
very
know.
welcome. Yes, ma'am. Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. It's we're getting habit where we ending at 4:30 and all that stuff. No, let's keep it at an hour. Someone called me and complained that, my gosh, 1 hour and a half. Anyway, thank you guys and have a good afternoon. Have a good night, Pastor Raymond. Whoever here from overseas, have a good night and thank you all.
Hello.
Tonight at 8 p.m. we have the Creole call, and again the link will be posted. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Sir, you have to come back, please. Thank you. It's 4:30. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Miss Juliet is gone. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Good job, Brenda. Good job, Pat.
Oh, that's Mr. David's voice, I think.
It's David.
Thank you, ladies.
Hi, Claude.
The
Bye-bye,
only
bye-bye.
David for Haiti. The only David for Haiti. That's it.
I know the voice. I know the voice. Okay, Mr. David. See you guys later.
Thank
Okay,
you,
thank
Pat.
you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you all. Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good
Miss
night.
Juliet is gone, so we don't have anybody to say Cryptex.
Good job.
We see you at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, but she doesn't have microphone.
What did you say, Brenda?
She's there, but she's not on microphone.
Oh, I thought she was gone. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, well, we'll say it. Guys, you can open your mic now. Don't keep it closed. Open it now and let's say what is it, Brenda? We mature the tunnel. I'm too excited. My buddy gets paid in another 4 days. I am very excited.
Wow.
Just like with the
YouTube as well.
Congratulations to whoever it is. Congratulations.
I'm telling you, I said it to him already. And I even give a.
Some wonderful news.
Yeah, they say congrats to you, Pat. They think you're gonna mature.
No, it's not me. My friend, a friend of mine, a business associate of his, not mine. Okay, guys. Bye. See you at the end of the light to the end of the tunnel.
We're going to mature now, and
So now it will be us.
That's a blessing.
Bye, guys. Thank you. You said it. Our days are coming, guys. Yes.
Amen,
God be the glory.
amen.
Yes.
There's no doubt about this.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yes.
retirement, guys. Early retirement.
Oh,
Bye,
Jesus. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job,
Bye-bye.
Brenda. Good job. Great job.
Bye.
Good job.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.